Shedeur Sanders won't have a chance with the Browns. For the team's coaches, Joe Flacco is a top-5 quarterback in the NFL. Despite Shedeur Sanders putting up positive numbers in training camp, it's very unlikely he'll get an immediate opportunity with the Cleveland Browns. He hasn't had a single snap with the first team, so Deion Sanders' son is at a clear disadvantage compared to the other quarterbacks. Ahead of Shedeur Sanders are the experienced Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, as well as rookie Dillon Gabriel, who has been given opportunities to train with the first team. According to team insiders, the rookie from the Oregon Ducks has caught the attention of head coach Kevin Stefanski, something that hasn't been the case for Sanders. Even though some may want to frame it as a battle between Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, the reality is that neither will be the Week 1 starter. Even though Stefanski has said the competition is open, it's likely the head coach will choose someone with experience, and the favorite seems to be Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco still has a lot of talent in his arm. There's no doubt Joe Flacco left a mark during his time with the Baltimore Ravens. In addition to winning a Super Bowl in 2012, where he was named MVP, the Delaware product put up impressive numbers in the playoffs. That year, the quarterback threw 11 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions, ultimately defeating the San Francisco 49ers. Flacco is entering his 18th NFL season, and his arm is still impressive. In 2023, with the Browns, he threw 13 touchdown passes in the last 5 games, helping them clinch a playoff berth. That talent hasn't disappeared and is recognized by the Browns coaching staff. "I would say he's definitely elite in arm talent, top 5, top 10, said Bill Musgrave, quarterbacks coach for the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco is currently the favorite in betting markets to be the Week 1 starter for the Cleveland Browns. However, in recent days, team insiders have frequently mentioned head coach Kevin Stefanski's interest in Kenny Pickett, making it clear that the competition between the two quarterbacks is heating up. In Berea, Ohio, the summer air hummed with the faint sound of cicadas and the sharper buzz of media vans parked outside the Cleveland Browns training facility. Inside, the quarterback room had become a theater of impossible expectations, silent frustrations, and, at least for one young man, a growing sense of futility. Shedeur Sanders sat in the corner, a notebook open in front of him, his pen moving, but his eyes distant. He had come here with the promise of opportunity, the whispers that the Browns were rebuilding their identity and searching for the next face of the franchise. But as the days passed, a hard truth began to settle over him like the humid Ohio evenings. He was never really in their plans. Because for this coaching staff, there was only one quarterback: Joe Flacco. Flacco, at 40, carried himself with the calm gravity of someone who had seen every defense, every pressure, every cruel twist of the game. When he walked into the room, even the assistant coaches straightened up. His film sessions were like gospel, slow rewinds, pointer tapping the screen, voice low but certain. And the staff, oh, they adored him. To them, Joe Flacco wasn't just a veteran. He was, as head coach Kevin Stefanski had said without hesitation in a recent presser, still a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. The comment went viral. Social media lit up with laughing emojis and gifs of confused analysts. But inside the Browns facility, no one laughed. Stefanski believed it. Offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt believed it. The quarterback's coach, a former backup himself, nodded along with reverence every time Flacco offered an insight. Shedeur didn't know whether to laugh or cry. During one particularly sweltering practice, Shedeur got his turn in team drills. He snapped the ball, scanned the field, and fired a laser over the middle, right into the hands of a diving receiver. A handful of onlookers clapped. But instead of praise, the OC jogged over, shaking his head. "Shedeur, you're too aggressive there. You gotta think like Joe." What would Joe do? Later, Flacco stepped in. The same play call, the same coverage. He checked down immediately, dropping the ball off to a tight end for a modest 5 yards. "Beautiful," the OC shouted. "That's a veteran move. That's winning football." Shedeur stared at the grass, chewing on frustration. At night, in the rented townhouse he shared with 2 other rookies, he vented. "They don't want me to be me," he muttered, tossing his playbook onto the couch. "They want me to be Joe. They want everyone to be Joe." One roommate, a rookie safety, shook his head. "Man, that's politics. You think they're going to sit Flacco when the whole staff calls him elite." "But it's not even true," Shedeur shot back, pacing the room. "You watch the tape. He's solid, sure, but top 5? He's not Mahomes, not Allen, not Burrow, not Lamar, not even Herbert. They're stuck in some fairy tale version of him. Then write your own fairy tale, the safety shrugged. Or wait for your chance. Weeks passed and the preseason rolled in. Reporters kept asking the same question. When will Shedeur get a real chance? Stefanski's answers were always diplomatic. Shedeur's learning. Joe gives us the best chance to win. That's the reality. Behind the words, Shedeur heard the finality. In preseason games, he played in the dying minutes, behind third-string linemen, throwing to receivers fighting for roster spots. Still, he showed flashes, rolling left and firing across his body, juking a free rusher, dropping a 40-yard dime that made the fans gasp. But every Monday, the film review returned to the same conclusion. Joe would have checked down here. Joe would have seen that backside safety. Joe! 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 It became a drumbeat in Shedeur's head. One evening after a grueling practice, Shedeur lingered on the field. The stadium lights cast long shadows over the empty grass. He replayed the day in his mind. The near-perfect pass that drew only silence, the little mistakes Flacco made that went unmentioned, the growing knowledge that no matter what he did, he'd remain in the shadows. He thought of his father, Coach Prime, always telling him, "Bet on yourself, son, even when the house is rigged." And that's when the idea began to form.